All right, welcome everyone to the Rise to the Top Teen Workshop. Excited to have some awesome ladies, college athletes presenting for us today. My name is Andy. I'm with the City of Cypress, and along with me today is Shelly Myers, the supervisor for City of Cypress, and go ahead, Shelly.
Oh, no, I was going to say I'm super excited for this.
Yeah. As well as Simi Soto with the City of La Palma. And Simi, I will let you take it away in just a moment. I want to let you guys know, please feel free to put anything in the chat if you have any questions, and we will allow time for that after each speaker. But thank you for being here, and I will pass it over to Simi.
All right, everyone. Thank you guys for joining us here tonight. Thank you to Hunter and Ali for taking time out of your guys' day to do this for us. I really appreciate it. First up, we have Ali, who is from Borkum, Germany, and a forward on the women's basketball team at Trinity International University in Chicago.
Yeah, hey guys. So first of all, I'm in the hotel room right now because we actually still have season and we have a game tomorrow for a regional championship. So that's why I'm only on my phone. I'm sorry for that. But yeah, so I'm from Germany, as y'all might hear from my accent. And I came to America 2 years ago to Chicago and played there with Hunter for the last 2 years. And yeah, so it's actually crazy right now because we're about to play our championship game tomorrow to go to Christian Nationals. And just 1 year ago, we were in the same situation and we didn't even have to play this game. We qualified for the championship and we were all ready to play the game. And then we got the notification like, hey, we can't play no more. There's COVID. Like, we all have to go home now. So it was out of nowhere. And everybody was sad because like seniors, like Hunter's gonna talk later, but she was a senior and I was a sophomore at that time. We just had to stop and had to go online, and life kind of changed, especially for me with the time change. Like I flew back and had my class with 7-hour difference. But instead of like taking it like badly, it was more like a motivation for us because especially for this season, everybody knew like we wanted to achieve the same thing again. So over the summer, instead of sitting back and being lazy, it was more like a motivation to work harder, not only like on the court, but also off the court. As a team, we spend way more time over Zoom because back then we had no Zoom and now we had the chance to read a book together. We was actually like working together on our mental health, kind of mental toughness, because everybody knows it's tough times when you're in quarantine, can't see nobody, and how to even stay in shape during that time, and also like staying in track with your academics. So it was first like a big change, but in the end, COVID was, I think, one of the best things that could have happened to me personally, because I think I got a way better athlete over this time. Because yeah, like this year, I don't like to say it like that, but I was personally doing better on the court, and I broke some school records with blocks. So I'm a forward and I'm pretty tall, 6'3". So I broke a school record for single games and blocks, and also for the most blocks in a season. In a shortened season, was pretty surprising. Like we had less games than usually, and I still was able to break a record. So it's like sometimes we think bad things are happening, but in the end, it's the best that can happen to us, and like new doors open to us. Because as I said, I'm a junior, but I still potentially have 1 year, but I graduated early. So this is basically my last semester. I'm going to finish my degree for business and marketing. So now I have still 1 more year and I can come back here. I can switch schools. I can start my master somewhere. And I think just all this during this time, I always took it for granted kind of, but COVID showed me that's not granted. Like I was sitting in the summer back at home and I didn't even know if I was going to be able to come back to America and to play again. We didn't know if we were going to have a season. And now like every game, you just are so grateful for playing another game and for having the chance to step on the court, and you're grateful for having the education. Like academically, I'm way more motivated now to do my homework, or I'm just like, I don't know, I think this COVID thing was first bad, but afterwards we all took it good, and like it's hard to explain it, but like everybody went through like a little hole first and was like frustrated and didn't know what to do. But then over the time it's kind of normal and we got so used to it. And especially like right now at home, there's still like in Germany, we still can't play basketball. We're still in lockdown. We can't go shopping, like everything is closed. And just being on the other side of the world, being able to travel, being able to play games is insane. To have in class classes, like we don't have to go on Zoom for our classes. We can go to our teachers. We have small classes. Like it's really nice. And yeah, I don't even know what to say more about my experience, but I think I got better as an athlete over this time, and I got better as a person, and I grew a lot mentally. I grew a lot, like just being tougher and being able to deal like with situations by myself, not always relate on others. And that's kind of what I got right now. And I don't know if there are any more questions, or if I forgot something because I'm a little nervous, but yeah.
I have a question for you. And you go by Ali, correct?
Yeah.
So when this all started, I know you said at first it was just like, you know, felt so negative to like experience, and then you were able to grow through it and positive things came out of it, which is awesome. At the very beginning, did you have to, like, for conditioning and keeping yourself physically ready for the games, ready for the future of games, did you try to do things creatively at home, like the water bottle weights and things, or did you have that kind of access to those types of things?
Yeah, like so in the very first beginning, I was being lazy and I was like, there's nothing to do. And I personally don't really like to run, but I still like don't mind it. So I really had to motivate myself to just go on runs and keep on running. And conditioning was the main thing I was working on. And then a fun fact is, before I went into quarantine, I was not able to do a push-up. I could not do a push-up. So I set myself little goals, like I wanted to be able to do a push-up. And for our team, our coach added that we have to pass a push-up test in order to play. So I got really scared because he wants us to make 10 push-ups in order to play. I think it was 15 actually. And I couldn't even do one. So I like started off like having those small goals that got me to like made me stronger, because I've never been the strongest person in the weight room. I was always like more the weaker person. But then I got creative, like what you said, with water bottles, like the small things, a lot of body weight workouts, or like just combination workouts, like do a lot to make myself tired. And yeah, so that was one thing, just setting myself goals, like especially with push-ups, you can start on your knees, then you can do this, and like you can like work easily on getting better with that. And then another thing I did was learn to juggle. I don't know why, but I just needed something to do. So I told myself I want to learn to juggle, just to have like the eye-hand coordination. And I think it's, especially with basketball, it's like we have so many drills that you need to be able like to have like a tennis ball in your hand and dribble, or you throw it up and do a crossover and anything. And so I was like, why can't I even juggle? Like I'm 21 years old now and I can't do that. So yeah.
That is actually really awesome to think of that, you know, something to do at home to keep growing, yet you're stuck at home doing those things and getting outdoors still. Juggling. Yeah. I like that. That's good.
And I personally, I love to be outside. I don't like to sit in my room all day. I never really played video games just because I'm not good at it. So if I'm not good in something, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So I had like, I went on the bike a lot, because we weren't allowed to meet friends in the in a house, but we were allowed to meet outside. So my friends and I like rode the bike together, went like inline skating, and we just got creative with stuff we could do with our like boundaries. So yeah, my friends helped me a lot being on me, and especially with the push-ups, like my friends kind of forced me to learn them.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
I have a quick question, Ali. What tips would you give to, like, let's say like a high school basketball player who are like a senior or something like that, who, you know, they kind of went through what you went through, where their season kind of abruptly stopped and, you know, they kind of lost hope, lost motivation. Like, are there any tips and tricks that you would give them? Maybe mental health tricks, something along those lines?
Yeah, I have a couple tips, I think. So main thing for me is setting goals. Like I know we can always set goals, but when you set those goals, tell them to somebody, like tell your parents, tell your best friend, or find people who want to do the goals with you, because then you have like an accountability partner who helps you to achieve the goals, and not even in a bad way, but you can either work out with them, or if you say like you want to run fast, then like you actually have those goals. It helped me a lot to be on track for my goals, kind of. And then for mental health, what was tough for me, like I just started to like take time for myself and think. Sometimes I was reading a lot, like if it was like books or some like small things that I personally never liked reading, but I was like, I have the time now, it's nice weather, so I was sitting outside and started to read and started to think more, and actually was like, it's not that bad. Like instead of always seeing negative things and everything, like it's, you gotta change this mindset, like see the positive and look forward instead of like being stuck in the past. I kind of changed my mindset and always like looking forward to the next thing and live in the moment and make the best out of everything you have. And especially when I, for somebody who's in high school right now and is kind of like scared, oh, I can't find a scholarship, or I can't find a university because COVID didn't give me a season, like never stop working, like don't stop. Like we know we all have those moments where we want to stop or where we take a break, but we always got to come back and like come back stronger and just have people who help you, because I think that's the main thing for me, like the support from friends and family. That, yeah.
Nice. So I'm gonna take it as there's no more questions at the moment. At the end, you guys will also be allowed to ask questions if you guys have any. So next, we're gonna move on to Hunter, who's from Carson, California, and a former guard for the women's basketball team at Trinity International University in Chicago. So, Hunter.
Hey, you guys. I also want to say thank you, Simi, again for giving us this opportunity to talk to everyone. So before I went to Trinity, I went to El Camino for 2 years. I went to Redondo High School, and out of there, I went to my close junior college, El Camino. It's in like Torrance and stuff like that. After that, luckily I was recruited to go to Trinity in Chicago, and that's where I met Ali. I was a junior at the time when I met Ali, but I had to stay in the freshman dorms just because I was a transfer. So luckily next door to me was Ali and my other teammate. So that's how we met. And last year I was a senior, and COVID affected my season very differently from Ali, being that I actually didn't come back to play at all. I was done and I graduated last year in 2020. So like Ali was saying, during that time when it happened, we were preparing to go to playoffs for nationals, and then we received the news that they had to cancel it. So we were sent home that weekend of, and little did I know that was going to be the last time I was going to play basketball or be physically in school. So that was kind of different for the seniors. I was one of the 4 seniors last year, so it kind of hit us differently and stuff like that. But other than that, I think I finished on a really good season with a really great group of young women. So yeah. I don't know if Simi wanted me to answer any other questions or.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's okay.
Just the same question I had for Ali, like any seniors who were seniors last year, or not seniors last year, but like going from middle school to high school, or who are seniors this year, going into college this year, like are there any tips or anything that you can tell them from your specific experience? that would like help them out?
Just like what Ali said, I think setting goals is really important, especially when you physically write it down and like probably have it up everywhere, because throughout time, like while you're in COVID, you're gonna forget kind of like your ultimate goal of things. Like I feel like when people are in Zoom all the time, they forget like you're in school to get your degree to move on to bigger and better things. So writing things out and having reminders up everywhere, I think that's really important. And then also I think um when you're in high school and you're transitioning to that college phase, I think a lot of people forget that community colleges are actually a really good option. You don't always have to go to a really well-known university or anything like that. I think for me personally, going to El Camino first, I saved a lot of money, and because of that, I'm not in debt or anything like that compared to other people who go out of state and go for 4 years and they're in thousands of dollars in debt and stuff like that. So I think looking at your best options around you and what fits you best is really important to look forward to.
And then another question, from your experience with COVID while being a senior year ending, senior season ending, were there any positives that came from that you can kind of like flesh out a little bit?
There was a lot of positives actually. I was able, I guess the outcome as an athlete, like ending your career, you kind of look at what you've done in your athletic career and you can like kind of appreciate it more. I think athletes take for granted a lot when they're in the moment in their season. And then little do they know, like their season can be taken away just like that. And I think I was able to look back on it and really appreciate the friendships and the coaches and the people I've met along the way. And now I get to share this experience with other athletes who are kind of wondering like, how do I get through this time during this pandemic as an athlete? Where do I find motivation and everything like that? So I think I get to pass on that knowledge of just motivating other athletes and stuff.
I also have something to add to that. Just like being an athlete and having like all those things we went through showed me that there's a bigger picture, that we are more than an athlete. We not only basketball players, like we have a bigger purpose in our life, and some things in life are just temporary. And like even with basketball, like it stops so fast, but still if you give you everything, like this prepares you for other things in life. Like I don't know, like being around these like other girls or like women, and with our coach, like they taught me so much more than just for basketball. Like I sometimes look back and like we were at a Christian school, so we had like devotionals, and like we just learned stuff that I still like think about today. Like I would sit sometimes be like, wow, like this is one thing we talked about as a basketball team, and like well, this happened on the court and we had to persevere through it. And like that shows me that I can like persevere for anything in life too. And like just taking small things and apply it to bigger things is really cool.
Shelly, do you have a question?
So it's for Hunter. So Hunter, I'm totally cool. Like you were telling Simi, like you found a lot of positivity and stuff like that. So just wondering like how it ended so abruptly, you being a senior, all of a sudden you're done playing, you're done with school. If you had frustrations, how did you deal with that?
Oh,
because it was so quick, you know what I'm saying? It was just so quick, it was just done.
Mm-hmm. There were definitely a lot of moments where I cried. I think I cried for like a couple weeks straight just because it was very frustrating to see like my years of hard work as an athlete kind of go down the drain and kind of end on like, well, what it is, like you're going to be sent home because this happened. I think reaching out to other people who were in the same situation as me really helped, because I know that I was only one of the 4 seniors who kind of felt the same way about that season. And just playing with other athletes throughout my years, I know a lot of people who go to different schools who also experienced the same thing. I had a friend, she was actually on her way to a playoff game, and they stopped halfway there just to drive all the way back because they canceled it like right when they were leaving. And I know that that must have hurt her just as much as it hurt me for not even going to a playoff game. So I guess like reaching out to other athletes and asking them how they felt about certain things, and just knowing that I wasn't the only person in that situation helped a lot.
Wow. Yeah. Ladies, thank you like so much for sharing this. Like a huge takeaway, I think, for everyone is to live in the moment, and don't you want to use the time we have. You never know if you want to go out for a position, or you don't even know if you want to try out for a team or something. Oh, maybe I'll do that next year, like those kinds of things. What if next year COVID happens? We don't know, right? Something else, some other kind of pandemic, you never know. And so really living in that moment, taking the chances, so you just don't know what could happen. Something super positive could come out of trying something, and working hard at what you do. It pays off. You have those moments to remember and reflect on, rather than if you say gave up, you decided not to do something, and then have that feeling of regret, where you guys really just put your all into something. And Hunter, for you, it was just taken away at the end. Like, that like breaks my heart, because of all the dedication that it takes to be a college athlete. Yeah, just kudos to you for all that hard work. I do not see any questions in the chat at this time. It's just me talking in there, I think. So any other comments as we were going along here from either Ali or Hunter? Was there anything else you wanted to just share to inspire those who maybe want to go into athletics?
Yeah, kind of what you said, just going off of that, like, don't be afraid of anything, and also don't be afraid to talk about it, because I think one of the worst things you can do is just like keeping it all in your head, and like don't like speak out your thoughts, or don't talk to other people what their opinion is. Like, I think it's always important if you talk to your parents and tell them what's going on, and just like to have other people's opinion, but also to make other people understand how you're feeling right now, because maybe it's a tough situation right now, and like you're like all scared by yourself, but there's always people around us that help us, and like we're not by ourselves. And I think that's like one of the main things, like talk and take some risks in life, because I think one of the biggest risks in my life I took was just coming to the United States, and like going here now is like one of the best decisions I ever made in my life, because I made so many amazing friends and have so much learned as a person on the basketball court and everywhere. So don't be afraid. And like I always think like I want to do something what I can tell my kids later about. Like that's always kind of my mindset. Like I want to be able to tell my kids like your mom did this, and not your mom could have done this. So yeah.
I have a quick question. Ali, do you know anybody here, or you just said I'm going in the United States?
I didn't know anybody. Like I was
Wow.
lucky my roommate, the one Hunter was talking about, was from Germany too, but I didn't even know her. My English was really bad. My teammates did not understand me in the beginning. But yeah, I came to learn English, and I only planned to come for 1 year. I never wanted to stay this long. I was like, I will be there for 1 year and then I'll go home, and that's it. But now it's my 3rd year and I want to stay another 2 years. So yeah.
Great. Thank you.
I also want to make a point about taking advantage of the opportunities you have right now. As a senior, I kind of asked my basketball coach if I was able to play volleyball too at our school. So good thing he was very open to letting me play volleyball. And because of that, I was able to even earn more scholarship money playing volleyball as well as basketball. So I think not being afraid of like going towards opportunities you don't think you're going to have, I think that's like a big step to take as an athlete, because as much as you think you can't do something, You just have to ask first. And then also, I think taking advantage of your academics as an athlete is very important too. And to always keep in mind, I think that separates you as you're a middle schooler going to high school and a high schooler going to college. Academics will separate you as an athlete because coaches will look at you, and if you have like better than normal GPAs, they're going to be like, oh, that's the kid I won't have to worry about on the court. I think that's the kid that I want to have on my team. So always remembering that athletics can take you so far, but so can your academics. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Simi, were you going to say something?
I was, and then I think it's like the rain. It's just been messing with my brain. I completely forgot. I know. So it's like,
all right. Well, I think that it looks like we might be at a closing point for the event. I truly, truly appreciate your time, Ali and Hunter. Thank you so much for sharing your story. You know, you can only, your experience is your experience, and sharing it with us. We appreciate that. And hopefully there's some takeaway here for our those teens that are joining us and watching this later on our YouTube channels. Just so you guys are aware, this will be posted to the City of Cypress YouTube channel and City of La Palma YouTube channel. So if you want to share with your friends, be sure to check that out, and you can have access to that through YouTube or on our websites. There'll be links there. So I think that is all that I have to say. I want to thank everyone who attended as well. Thank you, Shelly and Simi. Simi, did you have any closing remarks before we shut it down?
I wanted to thank everyone as well, especially Ali and Hunter, taking time out of your guys' day. Ali, you're in the middle of a tournament, like just giving us some of that time and sharing your experience with us. I think it's one thing to kind of see it on social media, see it on the news, but then to actually hear it from people who have like gone through it. And, you know, for me to personally know people who have actually gone through this, like having their athletics and their senior year kind of derailed because of COVID, but still having positive aspects is really cool. So thank you guys again.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you both again. It was awesome.
Thank you.
Right. Of course. Thank you. Thank you. All
Good
right.
luck. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yes, good luck, Ali. All right, at this time, we're going to go ahead and end the event. Thank you, everyone, for attending. You are awesome. We are going to get through this. Bye, guys.
Bye.